whatever, it cut off. But, that's life. I've been talking for so long that I needed to take a little break, so. The Bodasia story. So my mom just like flipped out. Like, this girl's being mean to my daughter. Like, how dare she, she's being protective. And it happened again, like when I would leave school or when I got dropped off, my mom kind of stayed a little longer and she saw how the girl act, and this brings up another time specifically when I told around this time, this might have been Thanksgiving, that like I was really obsessed with like just Indians and like reading upon them and like watching like old-fashioned Pocahontas, not like Disney Pocahontas, and like old-fashioned like certain Indian films that were just like, I don't know, they show you like the realness to it and all this stuff. Native Americans, I should say, maybe better, but yeah. And like, so I was just reading a lot about that, and I was also reading about slavery, or starting to get to know about like slavery and how we treated people and all this stuff as a little girl. I was very little. So yeah, Thanksgiving, my teacher started to talk about certain books, and like certain books. These books were just happy-going, like Thanksgiving books. How we were nice to the Indians and how they came, like just like, fakeness, just all fakeness, and we give them food. They come and eat with us, and we live happily ever after. So I was a really ballsy kid. I mean, I still was pretty ballsy enough to just raise my hand and say something. I mean, good God, I've already had like a white girl college persona as a little fucking 5-year-old. I mean, it's pretty bad. I probably would fight for a lot of rights back then, but there I was, fighting for the Indians. And I just rose my hand and I just said, "That's a lie. That never happened," to my teacher, and full of like kids. I was behind every one of these kids. I was in the very back, and I interrupted story time. Said, "That's a lie. That never happened. We murdered them. We slaughtered them." Like, that's what I said. We slaughtered them. We raped their women, and that's what I said. Just a little fucking, we killed them, like a little voice. And you can only imagine how that went. They just, yeah. I mean, they just continued the story, and like they said something that yeah, and then they had to tell my mom, getting in trouble and all that stuff. But like, that's what happened. I mean, that's what happened. And then what else? I know I got in trouble for religion. You know what? For being trying to be a good girl, I really was a bad girl. Like, but I think at the point I just didn't really care. I mean, I didn't really have any friends anyway. I just didn't care anymore. Like, I had a voice, I had to speak it out, so I did. And I wasn't losing anything in the process, really. and pledge allegiance to the flag. We had to sing pledge allegiance to a flag every time. And then I did not say God. I did not say God in the pledge allegiance. I think I didn't even just stop doing it. I think I just stopped talking about, like, I just sit there and like waited for everyone to be done. Like that's slowly what I started to do too. Just did that. Everyone would do it and then look at me like I was a sheep. I mean, black sheep, whatever. And then of course it was around the time George Bush was elected twice as well. I remember that, and I remember how everyone was, all these like little boys hugging each other and like, yeah, you know, all this shit. And I'm like, I'm not excited. That's terrible. Why are you guys excited? So, I just remember those little things as a little girl. It's terrible. Why are you excited? I remember there was a comment about that. It's like, why do you like George Bush? And they were like, because, you know, my family voted for him. And I went, okay. Alright. Yeah. Things like that. And you know, at school, well, kind of like, I guess it was a big ordeal when I just kind of said it, like I didn't believe in God. And then, like, I went to, like, recess or something. And I guess it kind of got around. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I got in trouble, and from the teachers, I just, like, I guess blurring out that. And so I was in the, like, a concrete area where they play basketball, and like the big ball from the playing time, I forget what you call them, but it's just like a ball and like a rope. And I guess, like, I remember being out there, and I remember some black kids coming up to me, and one of them was Bedasia, and I remember they were like, you don't believe in God? And like getting really worked up, and I said, no, I don't. And they just punched me really hard in the gut, like in the stomach. And then they did that, and then they threw the ball at me, at my face, on the like rope thing. And I fell down on the hard concrete, crying in pain, and they walked away, and no one came for me. Like, no teachers. There's always teachers, like 2 teachers standing outside watching the kids. They didn't do anything. No one did anything. So I was crying, and I had to get up, and I had to go back in the, like, when recess was over, I had to manage to just get up. I had to just hold my stomach, and I had to walk over there and count, like, the seconds of coming home and telling my mom what happened. Like, it was miserable. And as soon as I got into the car, I had to blur it all out. Like, and yeah, I just didn't know what to do. I just want to go to my mom. So she was super pissed, and she called the school, and they just told her that it was just kids playing. They didn't do anything about it. It was just nothing. Like, it was nothing. And I feel like also, I just don't think, like, the school or the principal, I don't think anybody liked me or liked what I was, what I believed in, and what I did. I just think that I wasn't even really I wasn't a rebel. I mean, I knew kids. I knew little boys that just constantly like did shit. Constantly started to fight with teachers. Like constantly just they always did something like disgusting or violent, like shit their pants or just say curse words, say this, just trouble, like just real actual trouble students, like just constantly doing whatever. And like with me, I think it was just different because it was just like, you know, you could just isolate somebody out because if you just don't respect what they believed and what they liked and whatever, you could ice them out. They don't exist anymore. It never happened. It's not a big deal. You ice them out. So that's what I had to deal with. And yeah, and I don't think the principal liked me either. Principal was a black lady too. And I'd say good morning to her. I'd say good morning to her like every day. And she never said good morning back. She just looked at me. And I didn't really think much of it. But now when I left the school, I thought about it. And it was kind of like the first time of like adults treating children bad. Like you just have an understanding of it. And I guess I don't know how to explain it better than that, but adults treating children like shit, like yeah. And what else? You know, I should disconnect my internet. I don't want to use my my data up. I feel like I'm using my data up. It just sucks. Whatever. I just want to make sure I don't have anything. It says it restarts today, but so another thing, I also got into acting classes as a little girl. I got into that. Well, I wrote up a class. I wrote up a thing. And around that time, wow, that instant download. I guess my data did come back just now because it's 1 a.m. And wow, that's so cute. Let me see. No. It's the same person. I got told I was excited. It was the end of the year and I was gonna, you know, reset. Oh my god, my data did come back. Okay, let's just disconnect. Let's just disconnect. And I guess the principal called my mom and she told her that I would have to get held back again 3 times, I guess. And my mom was just really mad. And then my principal told her that she will not be attending the acting class. She already knew I was going to it. And I got the letter and it said I approved, that they accepted me. But she called my mom to tell me that it wasn't happening. I thought that was really fucked up. I was really excited. I was really happy when I got it. It was something I really wanted to do. And it was kind of like at that point where something was taken from me. Like, after that, it's not like my mom put me in anything else. She didn't put me in any other classes or activities or anything like that. Like, I didn't have that. So it was like, it was all just stripped down to like nothing. And I got in that car and she told me all that. She told me like everything that was said. And how the principal was just a total like bitch. She was just kind of just out to get me or something. Like, I'm getting held back again. Like, I don't know. I was already in like a special like reading and writing class. And like that wasn't enough, I guess. Like, it's just like all these things. So just felt like it was just all on purpose. Because I was being open with myself and like saying things that they didn't like me saying. So yeah, that's what happened. And I know I got yelled at by my second teacher that I really looked up to too, by being so loud again. And I don't know what it was with being so loud, being so direct. Yeah. So when I got punched in the stomach, I forgot about this. When I got punched in the stomach, my mom had just like, she found out, I told her who it was, and Bedeja was there, and her buddies or whatever. So she called, I think she went through like the school, like phone numbers and the I know my sister, I mean, she was dating, my sister, I can't remember, because like, I know she knew the dad of Bedeja, but like, I don't know if that was like, yeah. But anywho, my mom just found got the number, called her dad, and she said, listen, your daughter is beating up my daughter, and I think it's good if we just all sit down together and we just like talk it out and we just have lunch. And that was it. Like, your daughter punched my daughter and we just have a talk. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, he wasn't expecting it. So we went to the diner down the street in my town. We met up. And I was just like, you know, kind of like happy going, and I don't know. And we sat down, we ordered our food, and it was fine. Like, it was just happy going. There was no hatefulness towards it. We just talked, and we were just being like little girls. And we became friends. And it was just that easy. For some reason, it was just that easy. And one of the little boys that I guess she was friends with came into the diner with his family, and they went and they sit. And he came up to us and he said, I'm sorry if this sounds pretty bad, but you know, I do great voice impressions. He's just like, why are you hanging out with these white people? And she just kind of looked at him and was like, 'cause they're my friends. And that's exactly what happened. They're my friends. So yeah, and my mom just kind of looked at me like, oh my god. It was funny, but it was cute at the same time. So yeah, I spent the night at her house, And I was the weird white girl. Like, I know that for sure. I had my black friends thought I was just the weird, crazy white girl. And that's still true. I'm still the crazy white girl. I didn't really grow out of that. We watched Hocus Pocus. We had a sleepover. We did roller skating. And I was really afraid of roller skating. I mean, I did it like a little bit, and then I just wanted to get it all off. I was afraid of heights, and yeah. And we had fun. She'd be like, which witch do you like in Hocus Pocus? And I said, I love the purple one. I think it was Sarah. I love the purple one. Yeah. And like she ate a spider or something in her mouth. And she's like, ew, she's crazy. She's crazy. She's so weird. And but yeah, I was the crazy white girl. Of course I liked all the crazy other white girls. So yeah, so that's the story. Okay, let me do another part.